Well, hopefully you can hear me over all the noises going on. There's supposed to be a private room that's quiet, but it's not so quiet today. Anyway, Osiyo, how we doing? Did you practice your words? You got Osiyo and ELISI. So hello, Grandma. So that's kind of cool, huh? This week I read a book. It's that one. Osceola. I'm not sure if I pronounced that right. It's a Seminole warrior. He was actually Cree, and he was from the Georgia, Alabama area. And the colonials kept taking their land and taking their land, and they got forced into Florida. And so in Florida is the Seminole. And of course, they were okay for a little while, and they were happy. There was plenty of food and plenty of supplies that they needed, and then all of a sudden, colonials come in and start taking that too. And they said they had a treaty that they wanted them to sign. It says you're going to move to wherever, and the place they wanted them to move to was all sand. There was nothing there. How are you going to live? There's just nothing. And so this fella got mad, and when they wanted him to sign the treaty, he took his knife out and he stabbed the treaty, and he goes, "There's my signature. I don't want to cooperate with you guys." And he said, "Well, it'll be trouble. We'll come and fight you." He said, "Come on." Well, the area was swampland, and that they were living in, it was swampland, and the tribe knew the swampland better than the colonials did, and they weren't afraid of anything that was in the swamp. And so they were able to protect themselves for about 4 years, and then eventually, everybody's tired of fighting, everybody's tired of dying, and then malaria broke out, and everybody's dying of that. And so he, after 4 years, he goes in and he goes, "I want to talk peace. Here's my hands." And so they arrested him, thought they were all kinds of big for arresting a man who came walking in the front door unarmed, put him in jail, and they say, "Hey, we captured this guy." He's like, no, he walked in. And between malaria and so depressed, he just basically starved himself to death and died of the sickness. But he had, because of the thought that he put forward and how much he loved his people, the people themselves learned to stay strong through the troubles that they had to go through. And the Seminoles also ended up in Oklahoma. They got forced into that area. There was also the Cree, Cherokee, Chickasaw, I can't remember the fifth. I know who I'm thinking of. The Chickasaw and this other group were like brothers, and they split. And I can't remember the brother's name. But anyway, yeah, they were called the 5 civilized tribes. And but like a lot of the tribes, some of the people managed to stay hidden in the territory that was originally theirs. They went up in the hills or into the marshes or whatever to hide, and they try to keep their culture even today that way. I did find out that on the East Coast there are some Cherokee that are hiding up in the mountains, and they want nothing to do with colonials or anybody on the outside of their group. They're like, just stay away from us. I don't blame them. So that's that story. And the other thing that I'm doing now is, well, you remember I showed you my list of words. It's the Cherokee words and what they mean. Now this list came from the Cherokee classes that I'm taking, and this is from the first course. And so I took all the words that I learned and typed them out and what they mean and all that kind of stuff. And now I'm going to be making a, flashcards, sort of. And if I can remind myself, this is done on Google Documents, so I will try to have a link so that you guys can see, can actually print them up and have that available for whatever you want to use it for. So we have that. And, oh, and the registration for the classes online has been going on for the last couple of weeks. I just finally got my notice and got signed up. And so they start this week. So Tuesday will be my first class. And my classes are at, for me, is at 6 to 7 o'clock Colorado time. When you look at the time, it's based on Oklahoma time. So I will do my best to remember to post the website as to where you can register if you want to register yourselves, and you can register there. And they do have all kinds of stuff. Go really familiarize yourself with it, because just because you took the classes, there's there's a little test that goes with that. We'll come to find out there's another spot where you have to do all the tests and stuff, so that you got to get a certain score before you can take the final. And when you get the final, now with the tests, the weekly tests, you can do those tests over and over and over and over, and it doesn't matter, and it'll keep the best score. The final, the first time you take that test, that's going to be your score. So if you don't pass it, you have to wait until the next time the classes are happening, and you have to go through the whole course again and take your final at that time, and until you pass it. Now once you took the test, you can retake the test as many times as you want. And I took the course, the first course, over 3 times before I finally passed it. And I don't know, I think part of it is I'm just a slow learner. Cherokee is very different from other languages that I've learned, and I think the biggest part of the problem is I really don't have anybody with me that I work with or anything that speaks Cherokee. So the little Cherokee that I do speak is like when I go to the Cherokee meetings once a week for a couple of hours, and that's the only time we ever speak Cherokee, and it's very little at that. They're starting to teach words there, and so I'm coming up with these to help the class, and we'll see how that goes. And that's about it on that. So let's get into the lesson. This is one of those situations where there's a K sound, just like K, like cat or whatever, but you only see it once, and that's only with the A. So it's a ka sound. Ka. Once again, that's the only letter it shows up with. The next one, there's only the one letter, of course, so it's ka. Sounds like cot. And the fun spelling is cot. Ah, cot. Have you caught anything today? Okay, this is our first word. It's a, da, li, he, li, sti. A, da, li, he, li, sti. A, da, li, he, li, sti. A, da, li, he. Adali Helisti. That's going to take a lot of work for me to get it. Adali Helisti. Adali Helisti. It means to congratulate, to be cordial, to greet. Adali Helisti.